Hello and welcome back to my channel, Making It Fabulous with Colleen. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my makeup routine for this coming Valentine's Day. I am using some of my Holy Grail products, some of the things that I've been using recently that I really like and know that it will go on smoothly and that I will love it for Valentine's Day, and maybe my Valentine will too. So if you are interested in achieving this look, please keep watching. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. Let me know what some of your tried and true products are for this Valentine's Day, or things that you love that you know every time you use them, they're gonna work out. So leave me a comment and let's get right into it. So let's get started. Someone mentioned on another post that I usually say, I put my eye primer on and my face primer before filming, and they said, I would like to see how much you put on. So this is the Urban Decay, the new tube, Urban Decay eye shadow primer. And I just like to spread it on. And I'll just take my fingers and just tap it in. Make sure I don't get any in the eyelash. Okay, so you can see just a little bit. I'm gonna let that dry down, and while that's drying down, I'm gonna do my face primer. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I have this in, I think it is in, I'll link it below. I can't see. I think this is in 3 maybe. And with a primer, this one's a little bit different in that it's definitely sort of a glow, and I maybe don't want to use as much. However, today is my Valentine's look, so I definitely want a little glow. I want to do a little extra something today. So basically, I want to make sure that I'm covering this area right here where I typically have some fine lines, and of course up here. And so you can see that leaves a nice shine. I might put a little bit more on. What do you think? What's your favorite primer? What primer is your go-to when you're getting ready? Just want to melt that in, and I will then go back to the eyes and I will get those going. Let this give it a chance to sort of set in. I am going to be using the Kosas Cloud Set Powder today on my face, so I brought that along with me, and I'm going to start with that on my eyes. Give it a nice canvas for the eyeshadow. Even though the primer's great, I'd like to set that primer a little bit before I go in. I'm gonna take this same BK Beauty brush and go in. I'm using the Tartelette palette in Juicy. So I'm using some of my higher end products today because, again, it's Valentine's Day. Maybe you can see my shirt. It's got little hearts on it, kind of cute. I got my earrings on. The little heart earrings, those are from Brighton. So I'm going to go in first with this as my transition. I'm gonna pack that brush pretty good, and I'm just gonna go in to my crease and bring it down. This is a nice brush to do that with because it is big and fluffy and it takes some of the work out of it. I like to look forward and put that right into my brow bone, right there. This just gives a nice little, maybe like a shadow, I guess. But it's a great transition. It's very close to my skin color, maybe a shade darker, and that's really what you want to go for when you are using that crease. So you can see, again, it just provides a nice little canvas. I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush now, and this brush is Nope, I'm not gonna use that one. Let me see here. I'm gonna go in with this one, another BK Beauty brush. This is the 205. And I am going to go into this shade right here and build up that crease. Just going right in the center, not taking it all the way up. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to give that edge a little bit more definition. So I'll do that on both eyes. And this has a nice little pointed brush. Not pointed, it's a nice little angle, so it gets in there quite nicely. So you can see it added just a little bit of color, nothing crazy. And then I'll bring it down to my eyelash. So it's a little bit of a V, but it's definitely a softer. And I gotta find my brush or my sponge, but I'm going to use this little brush just to help me out a little bit so I don't get it too much over here. You always wanna go from the outside of your eyebrow down. You don't wanna go too much past that. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. This is just a really pretty pink palette. I am gonna deepen it up even a little bit more. Again, I said we're gonna be glam today. I don't know about glam, but we're gonna be doing a little extra. So I'm gonna just take that in that same area just to deepen it up just a little bit more. Can you see how that just deepened it up just a little bit more? And this is almost like a pinky, orangey color. So that's gonna work nicely. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with this little bit darker brown, and I'm going to go in with my smallest brush, and this is the 204. And I'm just gonna pack that on, tap it off, and I am going to really just go in my crease. I didn't get too much on there. Just go in my crease. See how that works? Just go down to my lash and bring it up to my crease. So you can see it added just a little bit more definition to that outer corner. And that's what I'm going for. So that when I look straight ahead, you can see a little bit of it, but not too crazy. The smaller the brush, the darker the color. So when I first started, it was a larger fluffy brush, and now I'm working with the darker colors and I am going to a small brush. That's always a good rule of thumb to think of it that way. Boy, my face really is shiny, isn't it? Okay, so now I just packed that on, just kind of tapping it a little bit, and only applying a little bit at a time. I'm just bringing it up. I'm gonna go back in with that first fluffy brush that we used, put a little bit more on there, and I'm just going to soften this up. Do you see where my hand is on this brush? The further down that you hold it, the less product, the less you will be pushing, I guess. I don't know if that's not the right word. The less that you will be applying. It's just a little bit more gentle. So if I was going down here, I might be really intently doing that. So you can see it's very light. I am gonna clean up the sides a little bit, but this is a great eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna put just a little bit more on. I'm gonna go maybe into the darker shade and just get it right on the edge there. It blends very nicely. It has a mix of shimmer and matte colors. Okay, so that's pretty good. I don't want to go too much more than that. I may blend it out again a little bit more. I'm then going to go in with this color. It's kind of a light pink with a hint of rose, but I'm going to pack that on my finger, and then I'm going to go into this one, which is just a little bit well, no, actually it's a lot more pinky. I'm just gonna mix those two together and put that on my lid. So this isn't providing as much light color as I want. So I think I will go back in maybe with this one, because it's just not. When you put the high or the shimmer shade on the inner part of your eye, it just really opens up the eye and it gives it a nice lift, so to speak. Okay, now you can see I kind of got some on the outer part, so that's pretty good. I don't want to go too crazy. I'm going to go back in with whatever's left on that little smudger brush, and I am going to bring it all back together and just kind of stamping, because I don't want to get too much. But like I said, I want to make sure that the shimmer is really only on that inner part. Okay. Eyes are looking good. I am going to clean up these sides, and I will be right. I cleaned that up a little bit by just kind of dabbing around there and making sure that there was no harsh lines. So just kind of going back in to make sure there's nothing too crazy. And then I'm going to do the eyeliner. This is one of my favorite liners, and it is NYX retractable, and it is in black. So you can see, not super careful with that. I just need to get it on there. And then I'm gonna take that brush that I used on the outer corner, and I am going to smudge it. So you can see the difference between this eye and this eye. This is a harsh line. This is nice and soft. And whatever I have left on my brush, I'm just gonna flick it up. Now I'm gonna do the other side. Again, what I like about this particular eyeliner is that it is pretty forgiving. Like, you don't have to get to the other side quick. It dries nicely, but not too fast. So there you can see, not a lot of eyeliner, just put it on and then make sure you smudge it out. Okay, I am going to, my lids are pretty done. I might add a little bit more later, but I think they're pretty good. I am now going to use the Tower 28 mascara, and today all my products that I'm using are going to be products that are tried and true for me. So I know that this is gonna be a good look. I love this mascara. It goes on nicely. It does not clump my lashes. It's just a great formula. It's relatively new. You can get it on Amazon. You can also get it at Sephora. I don't know if you can get it at Ulta. I don't think so. It's certainly not at the drugstore, I guess, is my point. So I like to do 2 dips into the tube for each lash. Any more than that is too much. You can see the difference between this lash and this lash. It just does a great job at volumizing them, lengthening them. So like I said, I really do love this particular formula. And if you've never tried it, I think it's like $20, which seems like a lot for a mascara, but if I don't have to monkey around too much with it and it gives me some length and great coverage, I'll try it. One of the things, oftentimes there are products that I will pay extra for. You know, I'll get the better brand or what have you, and that is definitely with mascara. I try a lot of different mascaras, but I don't love a lot of mascaras. So again, Tower 28, I really do like that one a lot. Okay, so my lids are done. I'm gonna save the bottom lashes until after I have my concealer on. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Age Perfect Tinted Balm, and this is in 10 Light. I really love this formula. It is very soft and very easy to work with. Typically I put it on with my finger, and then I will use my sponge to melt it in. So I've got that on, and this provides a sort of a light coverage. You can build it up. You can see I tried to put a little extra on my sponge, and it gives a nice, just you know, you can still see your skin, so it's not too cakey. But I am gonna go in with the Revlon Color Stay Skin Awakening. And this is a 5-in-1 concealer, so this is in shade 10. And it definitely, what it does is this sponge applicator doesn't have a ton on it. And got a little sunspot here, age spot, I don't know what it is. And it's very little, like there's not that much on, but because my foundation, or should I say tinted balm, was so sheer, I want to make sure that I have a little extra coverage. This is why I don't do my bottom lashes, is because I like to try to get as high up with that concealer as I can. And oftentimes I don't even need concealer, but I think that it really does provide a nice brightening for underneath your eyes. So keep that in mind, that sometimes you don't need to wear a concealer for the obvious reasons, but it definitely brightens up the under eye. Can you see the difference? Well, maybe you can't see it now, but I can. Okay, and then I put a little bit along my nose because I will put a little bronzer on in a little while, and I like to do that. Okay, I think that melted in quite nicely. Both the Age Perfect, L'Oreal Age Perfect Balm with that concealer. Again, these are my go-tos, so it's very easy. I'm gonna put a little bit of this, it's Essence Extreme Lasting liner on my bottom. And this is a little intense, but again, another thing to really open up the eye. And I put this on before I do any kind of eye or shadow. And the reason I do that is because it definitely gets in my lashes, the white from this. So again, this just kind of brightens and opens up the eyes. So again, this is not an everyday thing. This is, you know, something I like to do when I'm doing a little something extra special. Okay, before I go in with my bottom lashes, I am gonna put a little bit of this Kosas setting powder on. This is so nice. This is called Clout Set, and the shade I have it in is Comfy. So I am going to get a big brush. This is one of my Real techniques, and just really pack it on there and tap it off, you can see. And I am going to just go specifically on my T-zone and bring it down onto my face. The bigger the brush, the less powder you're going to have on your face. And you don't want it to be too much, right? What I want is to make sure that I'm setting my under eyes so that the concealer doesn't crease up, because that can happen. This particular concealer is pretty good with not creasing, but oftentimes I will take and these little cute little sponges that I get on Amazon, I'll link them, just take and press that. I probably should have done that instead of that brush in this particular area, but that's okay. Okay, so that is it. You can see it does a really nice job at just blurring everything. So I'm loving that. All right, back to the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to take that very same smudger brush and, if I can find it, and I'm going to go in with that medium brown shade. And I'm just gonna go underneath my lash, about halfway. Do it on the other side. And I'm going to go up to meet the top. This will give a further little wing out for the top. And that, again, brings the eyes up. You don't wanna go out, you wanna go up with the wing, lifting it up. So this is definitely, you can see I have a little bit of a line, not as much on this side. So I am going to go back with this brush and just make sure that I soften that up. Okay. Don't want too much shadow out. You just want to make sure you're bringing it up. Okay. I'm liking that. That's about as much as I want to do. I will, if I can find another brush, I'm going to put just a little bit of that, what we put on the top, on the inner, I'm going to put that on the bottom third. And I will take that bigger or that larger brush and just smudge it all together. That looks nice. Okay, what do you think? So far, so good, right? I think so. Okay, I am going to go back with the Tower 28 mascara and I am going to do my bottom lashes. So I will fast forward this for you. You guys have any Valentine's plans? What do you like to do on Valentine's Day? This is my Valentine look. I'm filming it a few days in advance, so hopefully you get some inspiration about different techniques that maybe you could use. Looking good. Now I am going to go on to, I think I'm gonna go on to my bronzer. So I am going to use the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and this is in, nope, can't see the shade, cannot see it. Cannot see it. It does come with this cute little brush. Now maybe I'll try using it. I usually don't like using these kind of brushes. Just put a little bit right there. See that? Dip right in, tap it off. Go on this side. I don't want to go crazy. Put a little bit up here, whatever's left on the brush. Go down my nose. This will be nice to go down my nose. Usually I pinch the brush and go down. Okay, so now I'm going to go back with my sponge and just blend that out by tap, tap, tapping. This is a nice, easy bronzer to use. Doesn't provide a ton of color for me, but enough. I might put a little bit more on. Going right into my hairline, so a little bit. kind of went light with it to begin with, so I can pack a little bit more on. Okay. Okay, that's good. Just want to soften any edges that I might have. Okay, good stuff. That's about all I'm going to use. And then I am going to go in with my blush. And I got this Physicians Formula. It's got little hearts on it, and I've used it once, but I thought it would be kind of fun to use for the video today with the little hearts in it. And I love to use these kind of blushes that are not too pink or too, I don't know what the right word is, too pigmented. And this just, I'm just going to swirl around. I'm gonna tap it off because I really don't know exactly how much it's gonna put on there. And I'm just gonna go on the apples of my cheeks and work it up. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. And it has a little bit of a sheen in it. So I am not gonna put on a bronzer today. I did bring one out, but I don't think I need it. Kind of melting the bronzer in with the blush. Ooh, that's pretty, isn't it? Can you see that sheen in that? Yeah, that's just enough. Whatever's left on the brush, I'm just gonna bring it over. Okay, I was going to use the Essence highlighter and I didn't, but I'm going to take and use this is what I was gonna use, and I'm gonna put it on right below my brow just for a little lift at the top. Can you see that little difference? It's not much, it's just a very subtle, again, holding the brush pretty far back and kind of almost working it up into the brows, but not quite. Okay, so that's enough of that. I am going to go in with my Thrive Cosmetics Brow Fix, and I'm just going to do a little tiny bit just to, in case there's any powder and or any, I have a few little patches, nothing crazy, and I like to just put it over lightly. You don't want to be too heavy-handed with your brow products. I have this piece of hair that is driving me crazy. Okay, and I'm just gonna take, usually I have a spoolie, but I didn't bring it out today. I'll go back in with this little brush and just making sure there's no harsh lines and that everything is blended in nicely. Get my hair cut tomorrow and I can barely wait. May not look too long to you, but see, it's curling, it's driving me crazy. So let me just assess and see if there's anything else I want to change. I think we're pretty good. I think that I'm liking how it looks. I will go in now with some lip product. So before we started, I told you I put that Laneige lip balm on, so I'm just gonna wipe that off. And I'm gonna go in with the NYX Smooth Whip. These are relatively new. I love them. It's very pigmented, but it leaves a really nice sort of feel on your lips. I'm not even gonna line them because this is very pigmented. Typically I will line them, but I don't think I need to. If you have really thin lips, go a little above, especially with this. Okay, I'm just gonna take my finger and smudge it a little so that, can't reuse the same finger, so that all of the lines are my fine lines that they won't seep into. So that's a good little trick to just rub it. And that's usually what I do with my liner, my lip liner. So that's really helpful. Okay, I don't have a setting spray today. I probably will put one on, but I don't have it here in my filming area. So this is the final look. What do you think? Is it good to go out on a Valentine's date with this look? I hope so. And leave a comment below. Let me know what you're doing for Valentine's Day. We still haven't decided yet what we're going to do. Maybe we'll go out for dinner. I don't know. It's one of those things, like, we usually wait till the last minute. We don't plan too far in advance, but we'll see where the day takes us. So I hope you enjoyed this look. I hope it was helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing for Valentine's Day, or let me know what tips, what techniques that I tried today that were helpful to you, and what products you might want to try. Or if there's some products that you're going to use for your Valentine's list, definitely put those below in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. And I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in my next video.